Metacritic has had its hands full with some angry alleged gamers attempting to plant review bombs at Site A. After abusive backlash over the New Horizon Forbidden West update, Metacritic says they're stepping up their moderation game.
And huge news regarding the future of the Microsoft Activision merger. We're going to talk about this and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. Gaming News Weekly is back. We're the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can catch us on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services everywhere, talking about the games. My name is E-Rock the Red, joined every week by Full Clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
What's going on? Pretty good. You know, we've had this nice little lull in news about Microsoft Activision. We haven't had to talk about that in so long. Surely nothing major is going to happen this week that we have to, get back into that on.
Yeah, I don't know what could have possibly happened. Coming into today, very little stuff to talk about. Today, like eight more things happen. Big things.
Yeah, so we're all over the place.
It's exciting. Yes, I'm very much all over the place. And I'm exhausted. I've been talking all day. I was at work and it was different from the normal, and I'm just tired. I'm just tired, dude. So let's get this show started. Let's talk about some games. You been playing anything fun?
I'll get more into that when we get into the new releases. I've tried out some Cassette Beasts, so we'll be talking about that a little bit.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. So how about you? Have you gone cast off yet?
Cast
away.
And I mean less, because I still have this stupid brace on. But I have nimble thumbs, so I can play games. So it was just yesterday I had the cast off, and I did not get a chance to really get into anything. So I'm just kind of went through my library on Steam, and I'm trying to determine what I'm going to play. And I think I'm down to the Star Wars Fallen, whatever, the last Star Wars one, not the new one.
Yeah.
And Titanfall 2 or Death Stranding. Those are the three that I'm deciding on what I want to pick. I got Roller Drome in the most recent Humble Bundle, and I played that a little bit, and that is it's like Tony Hawk, where you shoot people. Yeah. And your score is based on your roller skating and your cool shooting prowess. So I played that for a little bit, and it was fun. But I don't know which of the three to go with. The more I keep reading about the new Star Wars, the more I'm thinking I want to get in there and play the old one. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Any suggestions?
That one's nice and topical. Titanfall 2's been out for quite a while. And that's one that it's kind of evergreen. So you can always come back to that.
That's true. That's true. And that's the one out of the three, that's the only one that I have played. I think I played it maybe 4 hours or whatever. I never got through the campaign.
Now, I did play some Death Stranding not that long ago. I picked it up from the Epic Game Store around Christmas when they gave it out for free. I didn't go back to it after, basically what I edited into a video from the first couple of hours. Yeah. It's one of those games that's so complicated by the Hideo Kojima style. It is it's going to look like Metal Gear Solid when you finish a mission. But in this, it's nothing crazy. You just kind of walked from point A to point B and some crazy stuff happened. But then you have 17 different numbers being thrown at you. You don't know what any of them mean. You get an S rank for your walking.
Yeah. I never know what any of that means. And I'm like, how is S better than A? I still don't understand that. In my life, A is the top, not S. Right. I don't know. But I do think that Death Stranding probably, the gameplay, the mechanic probably fits the Steam Deck pretty well. I could just sit on the couch and, during these long hikes or whatever you got to do, I could just be watching some TV show or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I don't
mean, yeah, from what I saw, it does get kind of crazy at points, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to miss the crazy Kojima, but I did hear that, like, during those long hikes where you're like carrying shipments of babies. I don't know. That's what I know think
Yes,
from happens from the trailer.
babies
But
and monster.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. But I want to hear about what you played. So let's get into our new releases from last week. All right, first up, Cassette Beasts came out April 26th on PC. It was a day one PC Game Pass release, so it is out there to download if you have Game Pass for PC. It's a turn-based role-playing game. You got to like record these creatures to gain their abilities, and there's about 120 monsters, and the fusion system that allows you to fuse different monsters together. And what I read is that you could create over 14,000 variations of these monsters. So that with Xbox One X and S and the Nintendo Switch coming out May 25th. So those are in the future. But now, give me the scoop.
Yeah. So this already came out. The launch was for Game Pass, PC Game Pass specifically, and Steam. So this is about a $20 game. So don't like think it's a AAA title or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's got this new style that I'm seeing a lot in these games. It's just very interesting. It's the retro pixelation, but new effects. You've got like the ambient occlusion and the just a nice blending of old and new as far as the graphics go. But it is. We can say heavily inspired by Pokemon.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and a little bit of like other role-playing games, turn-based combat systems. Yeah, you're instead of throwing Pokeballs this time, you've got like a Walkman, so it's a little bit of a throwback to the 80s and 90s. And on this Walkman, you have your different options like play, stop, pause, fast forward, record, and each one of those is like attack, use an item, swap which tape you are, and the tape the tape is what turns you into the monster. So you're not just throwing monsters out; you're becoming the monster.
Okay.
And you have it works a lot like Pokemon in the way that you level them up individually. They're going to learn new moves as you do, but the fusion thing is what's crazy. And there's always been this website called like PokeFusion or something where you could do these fun little experiments and fuse two Pokemon together and see what they would look like. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not much, but this game like sort of builds that entire mechanic in. So if you are with a partner and you go to fight and you're close enough and you have a relationship with that person because there's a whole like backstory going on, you're able to fuse your cassette beasts together into one. And all of your stats are combined. You can use any of their moves, and there's usually a pretty good bonus that goes with it as far as like your health, your strength, different things like that.
Now, when you fuse them together, does it change the way they look?
Yeah, so it is a combination of the two.
Oh, how does it look? Does it look like kind of just thrown together? Does it look cool?
Well, I've really only seen the one so far, and it was the same one that's in the trailer. And, well, from the trailer, if there were other fusions, I'm not sure, because I haven't seen more than, say, the first 10 of these beasts around the levels. And it feels very much tutorial-like to where I've gotten so far. But I know it's supposed to open up into an open world after this.
I think I'm gonna buy it after we finish this episode. It sounds so cool. Like, it sounds like something I'm looking for. I haven't played a turn-based like role-playing game in a long time, and the idea that you can combine them to make like different things. Yeah. What a cool idea. I always like that in things.
And I mean,
That's awesome.
This one really fits a niche because I've been in the mood for a long time to possibly like emulate one of the old Game Boy games of Pokemon and have that old school style while sitting on the PC and doing whatever else I want. Listen to a podcast or something.
Right, exactly.
But if you do that past the first or second gen, I don't know what any of the Pokemon are anymore.
Yeah.
So why not go with something else that is combining new with old, and I'm not going to know what these beasts are anyway.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Yeah. My son is super into Pokemon lately. Like, he has the Pokedex and he has it like memorized. Like he knows what everything turns into. So I'm wondering if he would get a kick out of it. I'm sure he would. Like, is anything like more mature, or is it still all kind of childlike, like Pokemon stuff?
No, I wouldn't say mature, nothing like that. There's like innocent innuendo, I guess I would say.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like
Yeah,
a
that's
kid's
fine.
not gonna pick up on it, but
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know there was just like, just giant breast
no.
beasts.
There's a little bit of
I
dialogue,
mean,
like when you fused with this girl, and it's clearly like hinting at something if you have a mature and dirty mind. But I
yeah,
don't think like a 5-year-old's not going to pick up on that.
sweet. Yeah, it's $17.99 on Steam right now. So, I don't know. Sounds great.
Yeah, tell him we have Pokemon at home, and this is Pokemon at home.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, he doesn't care. As long as, so is there, after you have one of the monsters, is there like a way, like a Pokedex encyclopedia type thing where you could go look at them afterwards?
Yeah, you have like
That's
a bestiary.
That's all he wants in things. He Every time I play anything, he's like, open up the encyclopedia, open up the characters. Like just even in Dredge, like I'm playing Dredge, and he's like, I want to see all the fish, so I have to like show him like all the different fish.
Nice.
Interesting. So this is what at a certain point is what shapes your gaming, like what your kid's gonna like.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But if we could both get vibe on something, even better. All right. Next up, the last case of Benedict Fox came out April 27th for Xbox One, Xbox XS, and PC. This is a Metroidvania. It's got a Lovecraftian style. You got to solve this mystery, and you just explore this world. And one of the cool things that I read, you could explore like the minds of the recently deceased to try to get clues to solve this mystery. And then there's a bunch of puzzles and demons and stuff that you got to fight. This one is also available on Game Pass, and I have not been hearing great things about it. So I really wanted to so it just came out as of this recording today. And I really wanted to get it in there and give it a try beforehand to see what all the fuss is about. Because right now on Steam, I think it's at like 30% positive reviews. There were no reviews on Metacritic or OpenCritic that I could find to base this off of. But people were complaining about the controls are really janky and the game is pretty buggy. But I was shocked that I could not find more about this game. Because it's been... We've talked about it a few times.
Yeah.
Weird. But just based on the style, I thought it was going to be awesome. The way it looks and stuff like that, and being a cool Metroidvania. But yeah, we'll see. I'll hopefully get in there. Maybe tonight. We'll see. I got Cassette Beats calling my name now.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know, but I'm interested to see what all the the negativity is about.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a sequel to... Do you remember the first one? It's called The Curious Case of Benedict Fox or something.
Really? No, I didn't even know that. So this is his
I think
last
so.
case.
Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but...
Maybe you're thinking of Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
See, that's what
movie.
It sounds like, but I could swear there's another Benedict Fox game out there.
All right. Maybe you're thinking of just like a fox that you saw outside one day.
Probably. Yes, Star Fox 64, actually.
You're thinking of Star Fox, of course. Or Bubsy. Was it Bubsy the Fox?
Bubsy, that's it.
Bubsy's back. All right. Let's and then our last one, the big one this week. Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out April 28th, PS5, Xbox XS, and PC. Third-person adventure game, like you're playing a movie. You're Cal Kestis. You're using the Force. You're doing all this cool stuff. This one, it's set 5 years after the previous title, and it's all new abilities because you're more powerful now. You've got these Force abilities, different fighting styles. So just seems to be more of the same. But this one is getting amazing reviews. Currently at an 86 on Metacritic. And yeah, just I'm seeing 8s, 9s everywhere. It looks awesome, which is the reason why I want to get in and try the old one, because that one was great too. So like it's making a person who's not a huge Star Wars fan like myself really, really want to play it. So I can't imagine being like a huge like Star Wars fan and having this amazing game right there. So yeah, it's we don't get a new Titanfall, because Respawn's just gonna be making these Star Wars games if as long as they continue to do well, they're just gonna keep making these games over and over again. But yeah, you gonna try it out? You think you'll check it out at some point?
I'd love to. It looks like a really great game. Everything we've seen so far looks awesome.
Yeah,
It's a matter of I don't know if I want to spend the money on it. It's just
for sure.
There's a lot of other stuff out there.
Well, even like the first one, I got that one for $4. I don't know if it's the first one, the last one. And then by the time you're done playing that one, this one will be $4.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Patient gamer.
Yeah, I think I could definitely see picking this one up on a sale. I can wait. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan either, in particular.
Yeah, for games like this, I do get the FOMO, when everybody's playing it and talking about it, but when there's not a multiplayer element to it, I don't mind, waiting, because I have so many other stories that I'm in the middle of that, I could wait.
Yeah.
All right, those were our major new releases from this past week. There were a few more actually that I debated putting on the list, but so you go check out the games that came out. A lot of great games. Looks like we're just we're heating up here, getting into the summertime, getting ready to go. So, all right, let's move things along. Let's talk about our news of the week. All right, our top news, the never-ending nightmare that is the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal, had a major development recently. So the UK government, they have this Competition and Markets Authority, and they are preventing the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. So this came out of nowhere, I thought. We just recently were talking about how it seemed like it was a go.
In the UK specifically.
A couple weeks ago, we're like, this is everybody seems to be getting ready for this to finally happen. And then all of a sudden, they the CMA shut it down, and they announced, here, I'm going to read some of the quotes from this whole thing. They said that the decision to block the deal was due to the implications for cloud gaming. And out of everything that we've talked about, did you ever think that the cloud was going to be the breaking point of this thing?
No, I mean, we definitely talked about it. It came up, concerns over it, but I didn't think that was a big deal.
Right? Yeah, it was everything was focused on Call of Duty and the games being made available. But it seems like the issue is with the cloud. So the CMA said the deal would alter the future of the fast-growing cloud gaming market, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. So that was the reason: reduced innovation and less choice. And then Microsoft did say that they are going to appeal the decision, and they were disappointed by the result. Specifically, Brad Smith, the vice chair and president of Microsoft, said, "We remain fully committed to this acquisition and will appeal. The CMA's decision rejects a pragmatic path to address competition concerns and discourages technology, innovation, and investment in the United Kingdom. We have already signed contracts to make Activision Blizzard's popular games available on 150 million more devices, and we remain committed to reinforcing these agreements through regulatory remedies. We're especially disappointed that after lengthy deliberations, this decision appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market and the way the relevant cloud technology actually works." So, obviously not happy about this decision. But I'm assuming that, when they thought it had something to do with the games, they went out and did this tour of you get a Call of Duty and you get Call of Duty. I'm assuming that this next tour is going to be to cloud services, getting their games put on, whatever.
Yep. Game Pass on the Switch.
It's going to be everywhere. Yeah. It's sad that what was the one that just died? was like Amazon's one. I don't remember. There were what was
Google Stadia.
The Stadia was the Stadia. That's the one I'm thinking of. And then Amazon had the Luna or whatever. It sucks that those guys they folded too early. They could have been getting all the Game Pass games pretty soon. But yeah, it's do you think it's going to happen still? Do you think they'll appeal and they'll come back and work this out?
I think they probably still will. I mean, we've talked about the same point over and over again in the long time we've been talking about this, but I don't know what happens if the UK like just completely flat out denies them, but everybody else is okay with it. Do they create a separate branch to handle themselves in the UK than everywhere else, or?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I mean, and it's not like so. The FTC still has a lawsuit against them, and somewhere else was had a hard time with it too. So, it's definitely not a done deal, but they've worked so hard for this whole. What has it been? Over a year, right?
Seems like
It
5.
seem many years. Can you imagine after all this and all they've done and kind of sacrifice along the way, if it doesn't go through?
Yeah, like that's going to suck for them.
Big time, man. That would be, I feel like, I think it'll be devastating for Microsoft. I think the investment just in the time, and I'm sure capital, I'm sure the money going into the lawyers and stuff to get this thing going, the tour of Call of Duty. So yeah, dude, it's crazy. I hate talking about it. I'm going to tell you, like, it's interesting, but like, I'm so sick of it. I just want something to happen. And I guess this is what happens. This is the monkey paw. I was like, just let something happen. And it's like, fine.
Yeah.
You're out. So yeah, it's interesting. Let's see. There's a lot going on. There's a ton of like really interesting quotes from both sides. Bobby Kotick, the Activision head, he had some things to say. And then Brad Smith they're attacking like the UK specifically, saying that, you're not, like technology, you're backwards.
So I was a little surprised to see how spicy they were getting about the CMA, because didn't they do the same thing to the FTC, and they said some stuff that was like, everybody's like, oh, you've gone too far over the line. And they're like, oh, we were just, kidding.
Yeah, they definitely get really pissy about this when this happens. So, yeah, we could talk about this for a lot longer, and I don't have it in me. But if you're interested in it, go check out a few things. You could check out their official the CMA's official notice about this, and it tells you more about the things that the reasons they thought that the Microsoft wouldn't benefit the cloud. Very interesting, lengthy thing about that, and then the responses. Another thing I thought was funny too, while we're talking about it, is how like the CMA just blatantly just came right out and we're like, okay, also we saw through this whole thing with Nintendo, and the Nintendo can't run Call of Duty anyways. It's like, we saw that, okay, 10-year deal. Exactly what we said, I think, right?
Yeah, we called them out. I mean, originally it's like, what are you talking about? You can't do that. Are you talking about like Call of Duty Mobile coming to the Switch? And then they doubled down and they said, no, fully feature compatible, feature parity. They said on the Switch. Okay, don't know how that's gonna happen, but
it was funny when they're like, listen, Nintendo can't do it. So who knows? I mean, who knows what Nintendo has planned in the future?
Yeah,
I'm sure they're gonna pop out a huge next gen console. But I just thought that was another interesting point. But yeah, it's catty, man, between Microsoft and Activision and the CMA. It's like an episode of Real Housewives. All right, let's move. Do you want to talk about this more? I don't want to steer the conversation.
I'm sure the bomb that drops next week about this will get everybody, satisfied.
Absolutely. Speaking of bombs dropping, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Today, we had a gameplay reveal trailer, release date reveal trailer. Lots of really exciting things happening regarding Armored Core 6. Did you watch the trailer for this?
Oh, yeah.
what are your thoughts? I know you're a mech guy.
Well, my thoughts ultimately were, why couldn't it be Gundam? This is Namkai Bando, the same
Yeah.
Bandai. Did I say that right? Bandai Namco, the same
There you go.
company.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It looks awesome. And it's
Yeah.
funny too, because as I'm watching this, I'm like, I'm like, I don't know if I played an Armored Core. And then as soon as it came on and it started showing some gameplay, I was like, oh yeah, I played this and I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at the movement but it looks so good that I will get good at it.
Yeah,
Because
and I mean, like, produced by FromSoft, how can you turn it down?
right, yeah, exactly. You can't. And very different game, from Elden. It has you couldn't even tell had anything to do with like Elden Ring or the Dark Souls games, but it does still have those giant like boss battles, which look awesome. I'm really excited to see those when it's all done. And this was crazy. Like, this was announced in December, and it's coming out August 25th of this year, dude. So not long. That's like right after my birthday. So that'll be a nice little birthday present. But yeah, it looks great. And we're only seeing previous versions of this have had like, I don't know how many multiple different types of mechs and like upgrades and customization that you could do to it. And we already saw a bunch of it, and it was just, the tip of the iceberg, and it looked dope. Like when it turned into that tank thing, and it was like, Tokyo drifting along on its tank wheels, and then it would fly and shoot all these rockets. I was like, yeah, it looks awesome. So yeah, August 25th. Mark it on your calendars. I'm sure we'll probably get some more trailers leading up to it, but yeah, I am hyped. Another surprise trailer, Funko Fusion, a Funko Pop game with all these incredible licenses just popping out randomly. Like, where else could you get like He-Man and The Thing or Umbrella Academy, Back to the Future, like all in one place? It was really cool, really strange.
Yeah, it was, and I was amazed. I didn't hear about this until 2 days after it came out. I was
Me
amazed
either.
that people aren't talking about this more.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so the other ones we saw, Jurassic World, Child's Play, Shaun of the Dead. It's got like childlike gameplay with The Thing and zombies and like all this stuff. And it's all these little Funko guys. Now, what it really reminds me of is the Lego games. Very,
100%.
very similar cartoony style. The gameplay style looks similar. Well, not that we really saw any gameplay, but you know what I mean? Like the idea.
Especially like after playing Lego Jurassic World for hours and hours, it looks like it could be the same game in that little section. But in this trailer, you're popping around so much. I think Battlestar Galactica is in there.
Yes.
So you're seeing like spaceships. You're seeing Chucky with a knife about to murder somebody. Shaun of the Dead hitting that zombie.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, and it just kept adding more and more. And then I'm like, well, what's this stuff? Like, Funko has licenses for literally everything. And I'm like, what is to stop them, from putting this stuff in there? Reading more about it, I did see it was NBC Universal, were all the characters in there. So basically anything from the NBC Universal.
So we're waiting for The Office.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, absolutely. Sure. Like, I could see that this, like, whatever this game is going to be, if it's going to be a sandbox game, if there's going to be a story, like, I don't know, but they have a gold mine in front of them.
Yeah.
Just real quick, let me read a quote here from Arthur Parsons, the 1010 Games design director and co-founder. He said, "It's incredibly exciting to be able to show everyone what the team here at 1010 Games has been up to, harnessing the incredible properties we've been entrusted with by our partners at Universal Games and digital platforms, bringing them together in a gaming experience that is incredibly fun, surprising, authentic, and celebrates fandom like never before, all experienced through a Funko lens." So, yeah, it's exciting. He says, dozens of playable characters in Funko Pop form from popular NBC Universal stories. So, yeah, who knows what is next, but set to come out sometime in 2024 on PC and consoles. So yeah, I'm excited. What else? What else does NBC Universal have? They have like the monsters like Dracula and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I saw that that's part of this. The what do they call them? Like just NBC Monsters collection.
Yeah, Universal Monsters, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, that's it.
So yeah, it's let's see. I'm looking up NBC Universal properties here. We got, oh my goodness. Well, they own.
Do they own Nickelodeon?
DreamWorks and Amblin, Illumination. I don't know unless Nickelodeon is another subsidiary. I don't see it listed here, but
okay, I mean, just they're Paramount.
Like DreamWorks and Illumination and stuff like that, dude. That the amount of movies that you could bring in with that, crazy. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm not a Funko collector. You know, I don't have the characters, but like I like anything like I should mention that 1010 Games is made up of people from Telltale, the people that made the Lego games. So that's why it has that similar style. So I expect good things from them. So yeah, just more cool stuff. Give me Shaun of the Dead and Back to the Future in the same thing, and I don't care what it is, I'm buying it.
Right.
You know? All right, so we know now what half of the old Telltale staff is doing. Let's find out what the other half is doing. Oh, they're making Star Trek Resurgence. So developer Dramatic Labs finally gave us a release date for Star Trek Resurgence, May 23rd. It's going to be out for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, PC. So, yeah, you can finally play. This was announced a long time ago. I remember talking about this, I think, long before we started doing the show. But yeah, what it is, it's basically like a visual, like a narrative adventure in the Telltale style. So, your choices matter. You're not doing much point and click type joint, but yeah, it's in a new like Star Trek world. It's set shortly after Star Trek: The Next Generation. So right there, not super far in the future, got the past right there.
Yeah,
that's important to know. And then yeah, it's got all the people that have worked on the previous Telltale games. So not all of them, some of them are doing it. So like if you're a fan of those ones, the Walking Dead games were fantastic. The what was the one that I really loved? The Wolf Among Us. Yeah, The Wolf Among Us was a dope game. So yeah, so it's got me excited that they're back putting another Star. Are you a Star Trek guy?
No more than a Star Wars guy.
Wow. No, do you like any space-based things?
Yeah, Spaceballs. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Classic. So you're not really like a sci-fi fan?
I wouldn't even say that. It's just those were a little before my time.
Okay, but so since then, have you gotten into any space-based shows? Battlestar Galactica, as we previously mentioned,
none of the big ones.
None of the new Star Treks. The Expanse.
Nah, I've not seen any of the new Star Trek movies or anything like that.
I think
Cowboy Bebop, though, stuff like that. I loved that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't like sci-fi. We're just calling it. We're saying it's official.
I like the dystopian sci-fi. I like the Mad Max sci-fi.
Like Dune. Did you like Dune?
Didn't see that, but I think I would like that one.
Dune was the greatest movie to come out that year. Watch it. Yeah, so Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans can rejoice in the same in the same show. Or if you're a fan of both, you're double rejoiced, and you probably need to change your panties. But yeah, this one, it's going to have all new characters. I know they did show Spock in the thing, so yeah, we know Spock's always there. I don't understand how he lives in every single world, but I don't care too much to find out as well. So, yeah.
Live
All
on
right.
and keep on keeping on. Is that what they say?
Do it again. That's exactly what Spock does.
Live on and keep on keeping on.
Oh my god, dude, we're gonna get death threats from the trekkers. Oh, it's gonna happen. All right, we got to move on. Let's talk about something else. PlayStation Plus. The PlayStation Plus announcement for May came out, getting Chivalry 2 and Grid Legends for PS4 and PS5, and Descenders for PS4. So let's see. Grid Legends is a racing game. Features the documentary-style live-action story mode Driven to Glory, alongside new race modes, 22-player multiplayer offering, and a career mode. So yeah, Grid Masters, Grid Legends. Chivalry 2, I own that one, and I love it. And I kind of forgot about it, but now that it's going to be on PlayStation Plus, I feel like the player base will have expanded, and you can get out there. What this is, it's giant 64-player brawls set in medieval times. So you have a sword or a mace or a giant hammer, and you run out there. And it's very important that while you're running towards the enemy, you hit the scream button and you scream at the top of your lungs, which is the best part of the game, believe it or not. And then you run out there and you have to, it's very, very difficult to master, but you have to swing the joystick in order to swing your weapon to get that critical blow. But man, when you bash someone's face in with a giant mace, it's good game. It's a good game. So I definitely I recommend that. There's a bunch of different like classes to choose from and stuff. You can play as an archer or like a medic and that sort of thing. Great game. But I have the PS4 version, so now I have the PS5 version available to me. So not that I have room on my PS5. And then lastly, Descenders is a downhill mountain biking game where you can descend down a hill on a bike.
I'd check it out. I mean, there's another similar game out there that had all the. I think you said you played it not that long ago. Had all like the wingsuit and stuff.
The Riders
like
Republic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Descender seems a lot more chill than that.
Yeah. I'd possibly jump into this. I played Downhill Domination back in the day, and every time I see one of these games, it just takes me right back to seeing that game, and I would jump into one of these for sure.
Yeah. No, it definitely looks cool, and it's not like super crazy racing type stuff, but it looks fun. All right, and last up, ratings aggregator and current internet cesspool Metacritic is responded to some recent review bombings that took place, specifically the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC. So we didn't talk about it last week, but what happened was the DLC came out and it gives the main character an option at the end whether or not to be friends with this girl or to have a romantic relationship with this girl. And all the neckbeards out there had an issue with it and decided to review bomb the DLC, at one point knocking it down to 2.7 on the the user rating.
100% the same people who had a problem with Aloy having like a little bit of peach fuzz on the skin when you zoom in. 100%.
The worst people. I don't understand it. It happened with The Last of Us. It happened with, so many games. And in addition to, it's not only a review bombing. That's what we're talking about now. But on the greater thing, these people get death threats. Like this character, the person who played like Ashley Birch, has gotten like literal like threats, and their families have gotten threatened, and like because a character in a video game is not one that they can agree with. So
and last week I didn't even know. This is new information to me that it was an option. You didn't even have to choose that. Yet people are on there like, I don't know. Did you read any of the 0-star reviews?
I did. I looked at some of them, and it's disgusting. Like it's
Yeah,
just people are
it's a lot of
just
pretty smooth brain energy there.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why these people exist. But Metacritic has said that they're going to do something to fix this. So a quote from Fandom, the parent company, the place that owns Metacritic, they said, "Fandom is a place of belonging for all fans, and we take online trust and safety very seriously across all our sites, including Metacritic. Metacritic is aware of the abusive and disrespectful reviews of Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, and we have a moderation system in place to track violations of our terms of use. Our team reviews each and every report of abuse, including but not limited to racist, sexist, homophobic, insults to other users, etc. And if violations occur, the reviews are removed. We are currently evolving our processes and tools to introduce stricter moderation in coming months." Like, I don't believe a goddamn word that person said. Like, I've never seen any moderation on those
Yeah,
sites. If
that's
there
the thing.
was, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, this is far from the first time it's ever happened. I mean, maybe I'm speaking from a point of privilege here that this kind of thing hasn't stuck in my memory, but has it ever been like a life? Has it ever been people being attacked in the way that it is now? Because I know there are a million reasons people have review bombed games,
Oh,
but never
sure.
quite this like volatile.
Yeah, no, like I said, The Last of Us 2, I think, was the biggest one. That one had, I seen recently that one had, I forget, like 100,000 review bombs, like
Mm.
on it. Like that one struck a chord. So I don't know what that was. I was avoiding spoilers at the time, but I do also think it has something to do with homophobia in that one as well, with a lesbian character. But yeah, I don't know. Most of the time, yeah. Previously, it's always been, this game doesn't play the way I want it to play, so I'm gonna, review bomb it. But
Yeah,
previously, we haven't had, this is it's we're getting more and more social issues inside of our games. So I guess this is just something new that's going to happen. But like I said, they're planning on doing something. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I don't think they're going to do anything. They just want, they're getting clicks, and that's what's getting them money, whether it's negative or positive. So, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if they do anything. What do you think they could do besides like what they're claiming they do by removing negative reviews or not negative reviews? You know what I mean?
yeah. I think just getting to it faster. I mean, check that. It's hard to say because I want to say check your audience score versus the critical score, but at the same time that would probably not work because we just saw the Mario movie on Metacritic have a big disparity there. But
Sure.
if you
Yeah.
see like 10,000 0-star reviews, what game honestly deserves a 0 out of 10?
Yeah.
What game in the world? I mean, even the worst you can get of a 1 or 2 star. So when they see that happening, maybe there's something that flags that in the system, and they can start paying a little more attention to that. And if you're staving this off before it's happening or as it's happening, people are going to understand. Like, I'm not going to waste my time creating 5 accounts and putting these negative reviews on here.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I'll tell you one place that I think does it great is Steam. The reviews are all verified. You have to own the game to leave a review, and it shows right on there. Like, okay, this person bought this game then, and they played it for however many hours, and that way, like, this stops all these people from like jumping on the bandwagon and doing these negative reviews because they're not owning the game. I don't know how you do that. If you have to sign in with like your, let's say your, whatever, like your PlayStation
Yeah.
network name or
Link your networks.
your Xbox name or whatever. And then people could see on there, like your profile, that you did that. I think that would shut it down. I don't know what goes into that. And obviously, again, they would miss out on all the clicks that are getting people to go to Metacritic and leave a review. So I don't know.
And that could possibly be a negative because do you think that review bombing is ever like a legitimate form of protest. If somebody does something crazy with loot boxes, for instance, do you think a review bomb is a good way to say, like, hey, EA, this is how we feel about what you're doing?
Yeah, yeah, no, that is a good point too. When it's like something that's not, um, disgusting
Yeah,
and vile. If it is something that yeah draws attention to it and gets, but at the same time, like it's hard, like you said, like how do you leave a game like a 1 or whatever?
yeah,
It's yeah, I don't know. I've never looked at user scores even before this was an issue. It was always just like, and people say never trust critics because they're paid or whatever, but like, they're more rational. They're getting paid to put factual information out there as opposed to, just people hearing on a forum that they need to do
reactionary.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anything comes of that. I doubt it, but we can hope, right?
right.
And while we're on the topic of Horizon, did you also see that Guerrilla Games said that they're fully invested into Aloy, and that's the next
More.
game they're going to be working on?
Yeah, and I mean, I actually heard that this DLC was pretty good. That they didn't even give you all of the quality of life updates, and people started cataloging those on the side.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah. So, I know a lot of people were hoping for a return to Killzone, but more Horizon is on the horizon. Bam. That's a mic drop right there. I did the double Horizon thing. All right, which is good because we got to get out of here. You got anything else you want to talk about before we leave?
I do have one thing,
Ooh,
and this won't
let's hear
take
it.
more than like 2.5 minutes.
I got time.
Okay, I got a little tale of twisted fate for you, and it involves Xbox Game Pass. So, if you could refresh my memory of how exactly you did this, I know you talked about it on the show before, but you paid for like 2 years up front, and you got 3 years worth. Is that about?
No, I paid for 3 years worth. I got 3 years worth. But it was like that's the max that you could get.
Okay.
I'm not trying to.
There was some deal in there, wasn't
Well,
there?
it was. So you're not paying. I paid for Xbox Live, which is it's a different service at a lesser price, which you could still do this. Everybody,
okay.
buy 3 years of Xbox Live, convert it to Game Pass because it's much cheaper. Still
So
able
for the
to do
price, it was like buying 2 years. Is that right?
basically, yeah. So I
But
think
you're
it
getting
was. Well, I don't even know. It was they're $50 a year for Xbox Gold or whatever it was. So yeah, $150 for 3 years, as opposed to whatever it is now,
Oh yeah. Well, it'd be
$15
like,
a month or whatever.
well, if we're talking Xbox Ultimate, it'd be like $180 a year.
Yeah. So yeah, I got less than the price of a year for 3 years.
Okay. Well, when we get through this, you tell me if this would be an appealing deal to you.
No,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I read it, and yeah, but I will let's explain it to me.
So a Redditor that goes by the name Elvite or Elvite, I don't know which way you would pronounce it, some sort of a reward program that Microsoft was holding. There are like, I think that it was through the Xbox Rewards, which you can then enter into a sweepstakes to win certain prizes.
Yeah.
So this Redditor entered into one of those and won a lifetime subscription to Xbox, well, Game Pass Ultimate. So that includes PC, Xbox, and cloud gaming. Now, what a lifetime is, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it's in the fine print. But this, in the United States, which people outside of the United States seem to be a little, unaware of this, when you win something through a sweepstakes, whether that's this situation or you're on The Price is Right and you win a car, you're still liable for the taxes on that. So the value of that thing you've won is applied to your taxes as taxable income. So given this lifetime of Xbox Game Pass at $15 a month, that equaled out to about $7,300 that would be put onto this person's tax bill. Not onto the bill, but that would be taxable income. And on top of that, they would need to pay about $1,752 this year in order to have this. Now, that doesn't sound that bad depending on your circumstances, I guess. But the $7,300, I calculated that out to be about 40 years worth of Xbox Game Pass. So that's what they're calling the lifetime. Who knows what's going to be around in 40 years, if this even survives the next 10, 15, 20.
That's exactly yeah. Could 2 years from now it could be done. Like, and then you're out $1,700 in tax money. Like,
Yeah.
crazy.
So that would what that person would have to pay in taxes right now is worth 10 years of Xbox Ultimate Game Pass, and it would be meaning it would be 10 years of using it before he would ever see any sort of return on that or any sort of benefit. So he's technically would be paying 10 years up front and getting 40 years of service, if it's even around.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
you wouldn't take that deal?
I wouldn't. Like, I thought about it after I saw this article too, and I was like, I mean, that's pretty sweet, but like, a bird in the hand is worth a bush or something. That's what they say.
Yeah, so Elvite turned this down because of those reasons, and it seems like a little bit of an oversight on Microsoft's part. I feel like they should have included the tax money in with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be, it doesn't seem right, you know what I mean? Even just, there's got to be a way to accept a gift without having to pay the taxes. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's stupid. And if it was, I don't know. The issue is the length of time. You're absolutely right. Who knows what Game Pass is going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 40 years from now. So hopefully there was I don't know. You think they would put something in the fine print that says if this doesn't exist in this period of time, that here's
get
some money
a cash equivalent.
Yeah,
sure. This is $7,300 we're talking about. To Microsoft, it's you could sneeze and ruin that amount of money at Microsoft.
Yeah, very true. So yeah, just nothing is free in life. This is the moral of today's story.
Right.
All right. On that note, thank you so much for watching this episode, listening to this episode of Gaming News Weekly. My name is E-Right the Red. This guy is Full Clip. You can find us on Fruit Lab, out there playing video games, doing our thing, posting videos of cool stuff. You can also see that on GameFAQs, GAMEFAX. That's where Full Clip will also post cool stuff, as well as he'll be over on Twitch every once in a while, FullClip_FL. You can check out this show, among other things, on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground. Also check out this show in podcast form, anywhere podcasts are found, and then go over to TikTok and watch us dancing. That's that's the only thing that's on TikTok. And then I'm showing my breasts in the reflection of something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a thing now too. Don't ask me how I know that. All right. That is it. Did I forget anything? I think we got everything, right?
That's everything.
I'm tired, dude. I am so tired. I'm cassette beasts or bad. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.